What is up, everyone? Brandyn Pokrass of the League Winners here once again with another interview. Today, we have USF commit Jordan Harrison. Jordan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. So, first thing, starting from the top here, you've been committed to USF for a little bit of time now. What made the school stand out to you, and what ultimately made you decide to commit to play football there?
First of all, you gotta love Tampa. It's a beautiful city. Can't go wrong with the weather and everything else. NFL, I mean, the amount of college readiness they had on the coaching staff. You had guys that fresh out of college just played a lot of college ball, younger coaches that still know the game as it's evolving, and also just Alex Golesh just being a offensive mastermind. Like it was something I fell in love with immediately. Like in the offensive system, it was just something I see me dominating in, and that's what made USF stand out to me.
That's awesome. And now moving on toward your game as a player, as a run blocker, how do you approach different concepts and offensive schemes?
As a run blocker, I would say I'm dominant all the way through. I'm a smaller lineman, so I like to get under the bigger guys' chest and run them off the ball. I have a high motor, so run blocking has never been an issue for me. Every play after play, we're gonna pound the football. That's me. So yeah.
And tying into that, I want to ask you, how do you approach handling different types of pass rushers as a pass blocker? And then something that really popped off the film that I wanted to ask you about, when you deploy your hands, do you deploy them differently to counteract different types of striking from defensive linemen? Or is there a set strategy you usually go to no matter who you're facing?
Well, I would say pass rush is just mirroring. So if he does a certain move, you got to react a certain way. But I would say most definitely my go-to move, I like to throw the ghost hand, make the D line work, make them show their hands first, and if not that, then patient with my hands in my set, strong enough to sit on the bull rush, and for speed, you're gonna run them upfield. So I would say when it comes to using pass rush techniques or how to block pass rush techniques, it's all mirroring. You just have to know what moves they're gonna use, identify the move, get hands on, and stop them in their track.
And does that come from a lot of drill work, or is that come from film, or is it kind of like a combination of both?
I would say a combination of both. You have to get on the field, work on seeing different rushes, how they would work in game, but it also ties in the film, watching your guy, knowing what he likes to do, what's his tendencies, what makes him tick, and just knowing how to counteract that in the game.
And tying into that as well, I want to ask you, what is your favorite offensive scheme to play in? And then beyond that, what's your favorite play call? That play call where you get hyped because you're about to go make a big play as an offensive lineman.
My favorite, actually, I don't have a favorite offensive scheme. Whatever coach calls, I'm to the line and we're running it. But my favorite play, personally, I'm a big puller guy. I like to get out in space and punish little guys on the outside. So that's most definitely very exciting for me.
That's your time to shine. That's when you got that runway and you get to just send a linebacker, a cornerback flying. But moving toward your senior season, what have you been the most focused on improving this summer?
My team needs me to play center this year, so just mastering the position, snaps perfect all the time, just getting a lot of snaps in every day, and just being that vocal point for my own line, and just being that leader that I know I am.
Has any of the drill work changed for you now that you're moving to center?
I would say yeah, like just learning how to deal with different sets from center. How to get depth without getting drove back, or just learning how to make come to the ball, make the call quick, get set, so everybody else can get set, and just moving as one accord.
And now I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody that I interview, but I feel like it's one that allows you to give some insight into how you are built as a player and who you try to model your game after. So, if there was one player, past or present, who you could have as a mentor or coach at your position, who would it be and why?
Um, I would personally say Jason Kelsey, just because his dominance in the trenches, how long he played, and just how athletic he was to be that size and to move like that, and just being the anchor of that crazy Eagles offense. I would just say that would be the biggest person that I would love for me to mentor because I would just soak up so much knowledge of the game and so much information just as a center or just an interior alignment from him. And I feel like that would be a great experience for me.
Is that someone you also try to model your game after?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Awesome. And now my last question for you, as you head into your senior season, what is your goal and milestone for the year? And then another part of that, what do you want to showcase this season?
First goal, WCAC championship, without a doubt. Now we're talking personal accolades. I would like to be first team All Met, first team All Conference. And what was your last question?
What do you hope to showcase this season?
I just hope to showcase my ability as a player. Leave no doubt on the field that after I play against everybody, they come back to their sideline and say, 71, he was good. I just want to leave no doubt, show the dominance that I know I have in me on the field.
I love that answer. But that brings us to the end of this interview. Before you go, where can everyone find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Jordan5K with 2Ks. Twitter, it's Jordan Harris 007. And yeah, that's where I be at. So give me a follow. And yeah, go Bulls.
Appreciate you taking the time. Make sure to check him out this season. But that brings us to the end of another interview. Thank you guys for checking out. We will be back soon. But for now, for myself and Jordan Harrison, thank you guys for watching and have a great one.
Thank you.